Sadhguru, what is the right language, what is right medium for education, ideal? I mean, there is a lot of controversy around this.
See, when we talk about medium for education, India has many languages, almost 26 official languages. Each one of these languages has a huge history, much older than English language, and has a huge body of literature. So you can't just drop them, because they've taken thousands of years to evolve and reach the sophistication where they have reached. I feel up to fourth standard, everybody should study whatever the language of the state. That was the idea upon which we divided the country on linguistic basis. The fundamental idea was to preserve the language, because we thought it is sacrilegious to destroy a 10,000-year-old language simply because of today's economic needs. At least up to fourth or fifth standard, if children study their mother tongue along with English, and later on they go into English medium because English is the passport to the world. Economic reasons are one thing, but there is a very deep cultural rooting. And another thing is the usage of sounds, the way we use in Indian languages, has done a lot for the development of the human intellect in this country, which is paying off in software and everything. Everybody is telling you Sanskrit language and software programming is connected. All our languages are Sanskrit-based, except Tamil, which has its own independent origins. So, it's good for children to be rooted in that language, but still they're good with English, they have to be good with English.
Sadhguru, could you elaborate on that use of sound, because we are more and more going back, realizing that we are what we had previously, we have lost that, and if we had kept that with us, maybe we would have been far better off.
See, phonetically, English is a very limited language. In terms of practicality, English is very, very convenient for all of us, especially when it comes to technology, describing outside, I think it's most convenient. But phonetically, it's very limited. Today, modern science is proving to you the whole existence actually is a reverberation, which means it's a certain kind of sound, in some sense. In yoga, we call this Nada Brahma. That means the entire universe are various kinds of sounds put together. So how many sounds, the range of sounds you can utter and in what patterns you utter has a certain impact upon your body and your mind. In the development of the human mind, what types of sound you're uttering has a huge impact. Our languages were generally constructed like this. They might have become vernacular over a period of time with usage, but if you look at the pure language, the way we speak, either Hindi or Kannada, Telugu or Tamil, the way it needs to be spoken, if you speak like that, you will see the range of phonetical possibilities are tremendous, which has an impact upon the development of the human being, which we should make use of.
Sadhguru, in India we have seen many businessmen who have created lots of employment, created wealth, and they pay taxes, and that has been very good for the society. But our society still does not respect wealth creation. It does not respect people who make money.
I think everybody is aspiring for it, they're only complaining somebody got there before them. This is one thing we have to clear. This is the reason, though we will naturally be the beneficiaries of CSR. I spoke against CSR because, first of all, you create a stable playing field for business. You tell me whether it is 30%, 40%, 50%, 90%, what is your tax, just tell me, and don't change it for next 10 years at least. Every time I make money, you'll tell me another cess, you'll tell me one more something. Don't do this, because people will lose confidence in doing business, because if I'm winning, you'll change the goalpost. This should not happen. You set up something and say, next 10 years there will be no change in the tax law, this is how it is. I want you to do business in India. I will decide whether to do it here or Singapore or somewhere else, wherever it's convenient for me. So only if you create a conducive atmosphere, and the most conducive thing to do is you don't keep tilting the playing field.
You have spoken very often that the future leaders are going to be, the future powerful people are going to be from business community. Can you elaborate on that?
There was a time religious leadership had maximum influence, then the military leadership, because military leadership became so big because of the war machines that they came. And then they all came under the control of democratically elected leaders. Because countries became secular and democratic, both religion and military got controlled and elected leaders became most powerful. But now you see, whether it's America or India, election needs money. So obviously the business is going to be the most powerful leaders because they determine what happens to the nation now. And businesses are these days larger than nations. Corporations have become larger than many nations. So naturally they will decide the policy, they will decide where they should go. So this is something the business leader should understand. Business leader means generally the public do not trust them because they are profiteers, not just making profit, they're profiteers. There is a tag of self-interest around their neck. They must get rid of this. They must move from their personal ambition to a larger vision, that they must show that they can make a difference in the world by doing this business.
Isha also runs a very powerful business leadership program.
We have Insight, which is a powerful leadership program. We are also moving into a permanent setup called the Isha Leadership Academy in Bangalore. The idea is to bring a new level of leadership. When I say a new level of leadership, our understanding of leadership right now is a tall person that everybody worships. A leader does not need worship. We have to move from that charismatic leaders to simply functional leaders. A leader does not need worship. He needs traction down the line so that he has leaders down the line who take responsibility and execute things. But the previous generations, the attitude was always, any trouble, put your head down and come home. Don't encounter any problem, just avoid it. A leader means you're courting problems, all right? You're looking where are the problems all the time. But because we've been an occupied nation, if you put your head up, your head may go. Put your head down and just come home somehow, safety was the way. This has to change in the new generation.
On the other side, we hear the mystic debunk the leadership myths and much more.
Our agriculture productivity is so low, and yet we say we have agriculture culture. Then why am I not producing as good as America?
We are one country on the planet who is feeding 1.2 billion people with almost no infrastructure.